Hey everyone, this is Brittany, dear fat girl in the building. I said I was gonna go live earlier, but I got a little busy and I did my little meal prep for the day. Soon I'm gonna get this hair together. But last week when I did a live video, I talked about walking in your truth. And so for anyone who watched that video or had a chance to watch it, I'm pretty much talking about walking in your own truth and not the truth of other people. And if you have a chance, definitely go ahead and check that video out. I feel like I spoke a lot of powerful things. So yeah, but this week I wanted to talk about success and talk about success as far as you defining what success looks like for you. And it kind of ties into the theme of walking in your own truth. And so, again, my topics come from talking at work and the work that I do. And I just always feel inspired when my supervisor talks to me and gives me, things, gives me the ideas. And so, let's talk about what does success look like. Oftentimes, we find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people. And in comparing ourselves to other people, we don't always see the bigger picture for ourselves. And we find ourselves saying, oh, this person is doing that, this person is doing this, but what am I doing? You find yourself talking about, oh, I'm this age and I'm that age. I was supposed to have this done by 21 or this done by, 20, or I was supposed to have this together by 25, and you're 25 and you're like, shit, excuse my language, but like, it's not going the way that I thought it would go. And so ultimately, it goes into measuring your own success. I think it is so important that you start to look at who you are, when you start to walk in your own truth and not truth of other people. But when you start to realize who you are and where you're going in life, you start to measure your success by how you see successful and by how you see fit and not by how others see fit. And it's such an exciting time when you're able to identify who you are and identify where you're trying to go in life. I think it's exciting to watch people find themselves and go on this new journey. And oftentimes when people decide to go on these new journeys into finding themselves, it's like people try to shun them and, make it seem like they're just, trying to be bougie, or they think that they're better, when really it's about a journey to finding yourself. And when you go on this journey to finding yourself, you're able to measure your own success. You're able to look at the things that you have done from where you came from, and that's successful. Even though, you may have not completed a certain goal by a certain age, but, the steps that you took to try to get that goal, accomplished, I mean, that's successful. I know that when I started Dear Fat Girl, I started off really small. And although it's not this big thing, but it's my brand, it's my baby, I think that I took small steps, and, I stopped comparing my brand to other people's brand and realized that these are baby steps. And these baby steps are going to be the steps that lead me to the bigger picture. I do see some comments that causes depression to creep up when we don't reach our goals around negative or discouraging individuals. You know what? You are completely right, Sonia. It does cause depression, but I think that we also need to block out that type of stuff. We need to stop listening to what other people say sometimes. It goes back to what I said about, defining, walking in your own truth. When you walk in your own truth, the things that people say, it means nothing. And I just, I just think that it's so important that when you start to walk in your own truth, then you're able to measure your success by how you see it successful and not how others see successful. Yanni, you make a good point. People like to remind people of who they used to be. And I think that's important. You know, let people go on to these new journeys. I feel like especially if they're not, you know, degrading or belittling, you know, the things of the past, you know, what does it matter? If I decide to get up in the morning and I no longer want to be like how I used to be yesterday, then that's my choice. That's your choice. That's whoever choice it is that they want to do. Like, if you want to do something that you didn't do before, then screw other people. You gotta, you know, it's crazy because I think it's so sick that some people like, oh, well, you used to do this, and oh, now you went ahead and do this, so now you're brand new. It's not about being brand new, but when you realize that you have somewhere to go in life and you have a goal, guess what? It doesn't matter what you say. Yes, I used to be like this. Yes, I used to do this. Yes, I did it before. However, this is what I'm doing now. This is where I'm going now. And that's what matters. That's what's important. You know, I just think it's, I just think I would have fallback. Like, you know, you ladies, you definitely, ladies, men, if you are watching, start to define your success for yourself. Start to walk your own path. Start to walk your truths. And start to do things for yourself. I saw a comment earlier by one of my Facebook friends that says, you know, self-care is not selfish. And that's important, guys. That's so important. It is not. It is not. You know, it's not selfish. It's something that you need to do for yourself. And I think it's so important that people stop saying that self-care is selfish. You know, you need to do that for yourself. That's something that you need to do. I see a comment on here, and I see your comments, guys. Thank you for watching. Growth is beautiful. You're supposed to change. Absolutely, growth is powerful. You know, you shouldn't be the same person you were yesterday, even if it's something so minor. You know, your mindset from the day before should just be a little bit differently. You shouldn't be like how you were 5 years ago, a year ago, last month. Like, every day you should be changing. That's one thing in life that's constant. Change is constant, especially positive change. And you know, I think we live in a society where negativity is sometimes praised, and you know, like, why do we like to praise negativity? Like, when somebody is doing good and they're busting their behind to make that 180, because it's not 360 like people like to say. 360 means you turn right back around and you're going the same direction. But when people make these changes, a lot of people just like to focus on the negative things. And I think that, you know, we get stuck because we like to have we like to have validation from other people. And I think that once we start realizing we don't need validation from other people, I mean, it really means nothing. Like, what other people have to say is like, no, I don't care what you have to say. I don't need your validation. You know, it's just crazy. Yes, you can't pour from an empty cup. Yes, because if you're pouring, it's like, damn, who's gonna pour into me? And that's where it comes in, where you need to step in and pour into your cup. And sometimes you have to cut ties and you know, stop bending over backwards for people who are not going to bend over backwards for you. And that is, I mean, that's really the truth. So, you know, I really want people to start to measure their own successes. You know, what do you see as something that's powerful? What do you, how do you feel when you reach that goal? It's like, I used to repost some of these things too. Like, you know how people, when they start doing weight loss, and I used to think it was so funny because people they're like, yes, I lost 1 pound. That's their success. It doesn't have to be 5 pounds. It doesn't have to be 15 or 20. And I'm talking about weight because currently I am on a weight loss journey that has been extremely, extremely hard for me. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if I lost that 1 pound, that's my success. That's me measuring my success. You know what I mean? Yes, Mimi, don't be afraid to stand and walk alone. And I think that I've struggled with that myself. Like, for a long time, I wanted to feel like I fit inside of the crowd. And I wanted people to validate the things that I do. And even with my struggle of building Dear Fat Girl, I wanted people to validate what I do. I post all the time, and I say, please, check out my website. And there's people that will never check out my website. And instead of thinking about that, I have to remember my purpose. And my purpose when I started Dear Fat Girl is that even if it's just one person who is inspired by my brand, then I'm going to keep writing it. I'm going to keep writing, and I'm going to keep going because it's inspiring me and that one person. And that one person may turn into two. And so, it's definitely, it's a struggle. It's always a struggle to stand and walk alone. Sometimes you're afraid to, take that leap of faith. But, I guess that's the purpose of faith, to step out. You never know, you just never know what's going to be in front of you. But because you have the faith, the size of a mustard seed, you know that even though you can't see the light, you know that when you take that step forward, something is going to be there. And I think that once we start measuring our own successes by our own thing, it's faith that we have to have. And you don't have to be religious to have faith, because we all have faith in something. And I think it's very important, because faith is what really gets you there sometimes. You may never know. You don't see things coming sometimes. But it's the faith and the hope that you keep alive that keeps you going and keeps pouring. And you just keep fighting. You just keep going. Thank you, ladies, for, thank you. My journey is inspiring, but I just want to inspire other people. I want other young ladies, other young women to feel empowered, to know that they can do it, that it may not be an easy battle, but it's a battle worth fighting for. It's a battle worth fighting for, because like I always say to people, your current circumstance, it means nothing, because your life's purpose is greater than that. Your life's purpose is greater than your current circumstance. I want everybody to say that. Your life's purpose is greater than your current circumstance. And I want you, some of you who are watching this and those who will watch this, I want you to really feel that, because every day I have to tell myself, my life's purpose is greater than my current circumstance. I find myself often, feeling down. And, sometimes I'll fall into a depressive mode and I won't feel too good. But I have to remember that this is just only a test to the testimony that I will have. And, it's greater. It gets greater later, I promise. Sometimes the ones that are close are the ones that won't support. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, I've learned, I've learned to ignore, I've learned to not pay attention to those who don't show up. Oftentimes you ever plan an event and somebody, say they're going to come, and they don't come. All these people that say they're going to come and they don't come. And you start to say, well, damn, such and such said she was going to come. He said he was going to come. They said they was going to come. And then you have your focus on all the people who said they weren't coming. You forget to focus on those who actually came to support, who came to show up. And I learned that. I've learned that. Praise those who show up, because those who show up, those are the ones that are there for you. Taking that focus and that energy to focus on those who didn't come and the reasons why they didn't come, that's great. They didn't come. Oh, well. Oh, well. But those who came, shout out to you. Even if it's just one of your friends that show up, guess what? That one friend showed up. And it's okay. It's really okay. For those of you who are watching, thank you for tuning in. This goes for anybody who's watching. Whatever it is, whatever it is that you are going, whatever your dream is, the universe, God, whomever you believe in, gave you that dream to make it to reality. And it's for you to push it forward, for you to take those small steps to see the bigger picture, measure your own successes. Even if it's a small goal, even if it's something so small, it's your success. I encourage you all to do that. I encourage you all to just get up in the morning and say, you know what, I feel good today. I feel great today. Today, I'm going to smile despite, despite the circumstances. I'm going to smile today. And I'm going to be happy. I'm going to live. I'm going to walk in my truth. I'm going to feel empowered by my truth. And I'm going to walk the journey that I'm supposed to walk for myself, and not the journey that anyone else wants me to walk for. You know, that's what you have to do. That's how you measure your own success. What do you find successful? Because we cannot continue to compare and contrast what A person has, what B person has. It's, you know, it's null and void. Who are they? You know, they have their own journey. And, you know, oftentimes we don't realize that these people that we think are successful, and, you know, we don't know what their journey is behind closed doors. We don't know what they had to do to get there. You know, we don't know their struggle. So that's why it's important to focus on you and focus on your journey and where you're going in life. And I think that once we start to focus that energy on who we are and where we're going, it won't matter. None of it won't matter. Be a supporter from your heart, and when people don't return the favor, you can still walk away with a smile, knowing that you're pouring into others. Absolutely, absolutely. Be a supporter from your heart. You know, don't expect too much from other people. Just know that in your heart, when you do things and when you support people, understand that when you take that time to support somebody, you know, you have to understand they may not return that support, but that's okay. That they didn't return that support. It's absolutely okay, because you know that in your heart, you went out there and you went to support because that's something that you believed in that person, and you believed in their vision, and you were there to support it. And if they don't support back, you know, it is absolutely okay, because where one won't support, others will. Thank you so much, Sonia. Your comments are really amazing, and I feel them. I definitely feel them, and I appreciate them. From one queen to another, you're amazing as well. But so to wrap up my video, because I've probably been talking for forever. Thank you, Bethany. I tried to do a little something with it, but just to wrap it up, I want everyone, all of you watching, all of you who will watch, to start to focus on yourself. What is your goals? What are your goals? Where are you heading? What is your vision? My friend Portia always says, you have to write the vision, be the vision, speak the vision, everything, the vision, you know, vision board series. If you guys have a chance, check them out. There are two amazing young women who are coming together to talk about the vision, and helping people bring their visions to life. They gave me an opportunity to speak about Dear Fat Girl before anybody else ever did. And from there, it's just been like my thriving force. But focus on yourself, and do things for yourself. Measure your own successes, and don't ever, make choices and depend on certain things for other people to validate, because them validating you means nothing. You don't need anyone to validate who you are, because when you are confident in who you are and you walk that walk, can't nobody tell you nothing. You validate yourself. You and whoever you believe in, your higher being, the universe, you validate who you are. And that's what's important. Don't ever let anybody knock you down and tell you you can't do something that you want to do. Some people might think it sounds crazy. Some people think that I sound crazy all the time, but guess what? It's okay, because I know where I'm supposed to go, and I just know in my heart that I just have a purpose, that I'm still figuring out my purpose. And I know that you all have a purpose. And slowly but surely, every day, that purpose will reveal itself to you. The people who are not for you will reveal themselves to you. The people who are for you will reveal themselves to you. Over time, life reveals the truth to you. You just have to be willing to open and have that tunnel vision and focus on yourself and focus on the things that you want. So, thank you, Anasia. I'm glad this helped you. Shout out to your up-and-coming business, up-and-coming brand, A-Plugged. I want to say that right. Get plugged in. Check her profile out. Anasia. She's doing some great things. But ultimately, ladies, gentlemen as well, start to focus on yourself. Start to measure your own successes, and define them for yourself, and don't allow anyone else to define your success. regardless of how small it is, how big it is, whatever. You know, start to define your own successes. That is my time here. I want to thank all of you who've commented, who've liked, who shared my live video, who have watched. I truly appreciate it. Public speaking is a passion for me, and I just love it. I just love doing what I do, and I hope that I can inspire someone to be greater than themselves, and that's really all. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed your long weekend. For those who had off, for those who didn't have off, enjoy the shmoney. And that is my time. This week's topic is measuring your own success. And I hope to see some of you talk about how you measure your own success. I'm probably going to do a blog post about measuring your own success, so please look out. In the meantime, check out www.dearfatgirl.com. If you have anything to add to that, if you have any topics that you want to talk about, anything that you may want me to review, please let me know. With that being said, thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed night. Dear Fat Girl is out.